Hey, how you doing, my friend? Dan Denley here from GuitarZoom.com. And what I was playing was this simple Mississippi Delta blues, okay? And this is in a blues minor scale, okay? Really like a blues pentatonic. And all those licks that I was just playing all come from that particular scale. So let me give you an example of what that sounds like. Okay, most of those licks come right from that scale. Okay, that's it, just an octave higher. Here it is an octave lower when I was playing it down here. Okay, so basically the dealio is that all of those licks come from that pentatonic minor scale. Now, some of them come from the different positions in that scale, okay? But, you know, because you can play like, and then you can go, sorry. And so some of those licks like the, let's see here. That lick actually comes from that second position of the pentatonic minor. So, you know, the very first lick, that, and then all of those licks come right from that pentatonic minor, okay? And this particular tune that I wrote is specifically to help you learn how to do bends. So let me show you the technique on that. Basically, the very first lick goes, okay, in any kind of blues playing, you're going to be using tons and tons of licks. And what I'm doing is I'm anchoring my hand into the back of the neck with my thumb, and then when I strike the note to do the full bend, I'm actually using 2 fingers to push it up. And another thing is I'm also using the action on this guitar is a little bit higher than you would normally expect. And that's so I can get under the string and push it up. So if you need to adjust your action, you know, to raise the strings just a little bit so you can get your fingers under there, that'll really help. So you can push it up like, then I'm using this finger to, and then when I do that, I'm using all 4 of my fingers to push up that bend. So whenever you're kind of on the second string, you can, generally speaking, you can use like at least these 3 fingers, and sometimes all 4 to help you push up the string. Okay, and I'm allowing that string, you can actually see the finger or the string mark in my finger there. You can tell where it's hitting like right here. It's not too far next to my nail, and it's not too far this way. It's just right on the end there. So you've got, okay, and then same idea there as I'm using all 4 of my fingers to push it up. And then now that technique of bending is, instead of just bending it up and going to another note, like I'm actually going and letting it return back to the original note. So I'm striking the note, bending it up, going up a full step, and then letting it come back down. Another famous blues technique. And then when I go to this lick, what I'm doing is I'm pushing it up, then I'm playing this note as I let the other note ring out. So I got, you hear that? And I'll do that by pushing it up, and then allow my finger just to hit here and hold it at the same time so I get this sound. And then when I hit that note, I'm actually just using 1 finger to bend it up. Because I really don't have much more, I don't have any time, but generally speaking, I don't have time to get my fingers back in this position, is what I'm trying to say. But I can just use my first finger there because my index finger is generally the most strong finger on your hand. So your fingers, generally speaking, get weaker as you go this way. So normally strongest and then to least strong is your pinky, because it gets used the least, I think, and it's smaller, just muscularly. It's a smaller finger than the other ones, right? So I think it gets used less, and it's also just not quite as strong, as smaller. So, and then, okay, and then we have this hammer-on pull-off thing down here. And you can do this a number of ways. You can either do it with your ring finger, like, or your middle finger. I kind of think middle finger is easier because it's the biggest finger. It's like a hammer, you know? It's like you can use that sucker as a hammer to hammer on and off that string. Okay? And one of the tricks of this is I'm actually using my thumb and my pick down here to hold the third and first string to keep them from ringing out as I'm hammering on that B string. Otherwise, if I'm hammering on it, you might get this sound. And I don't really want that. Okay, and then same thing there. Just hammering on and off. And actually, I'm allowing the back of the neck to hit my hand right there, and I'm kind of using that as like a hinge. Like a door swings on a hinge. I'm kind of using that like a hinge, just going. Okay, on that, when I'm doing those big vibratos, what I'm doing is I'm anchoring my thumb in the back of the neck. I'm grabbing that with my middle finger or even your ring finger, and I'm just shaking the daylights out of it. Again, I'm using the side of my hand like a hinge there. That's kind of that B.B. King shake, I call it. And then I just go. That's just walking down another position of that pentatonic minor. And then, let's see, where am I? Yeah, and then, okay, and this last lick, where am I? And then, and that last thing is just like a double hammer on. So I'm hitting both of the strings. And actually, I don't even have this in the tab as that, but what you can do is you hit both strings and you bar the first and the second string here, and then I'm just hammering on with the flat side of my ring finger to get that sound. Or you could just go, or either one. But it's kind of subtle, but it sounds cool. So that's the Mississippi Delta Blues. If you'd like to get the tab and the jam track with this, you can go to the URL in this video and sign up and get that. And thanks for watching. Hope that's helped your blues playing a little bit. I'm Dan Denley from GuitarZoom.com.